If you're just logging in, there is, and we'll get started in about 1 more minute. All right, so for those of you who are just joining us, we are going to have three different activities today. So one of them is creating digital paint by numbers using Google Forms, and the other one is creating a flip hunt using Flipgrid, and the last one is using geocaching or going on a virtual geocache, which is kind of like hunting. If you don't not familiar with geocaching, and using Google Slides and My Maps for that. So I'll show you how you can do that, and hopefully I can get them all three done within the hour and not go over too long. So the first one I want you to see is the form that I have already created. That way you can kind of get an idea of what it is. So I'm going to give you another link to this form, and let's see. I want you to go ahead and fill it out. Don't worry, it's not too difficult. It is math, but you can kind of see how the paint by numbers works. And hopefully, I didn't make it those adding and subtracting too difficult. I don't think I did, but go ahead and get one wrong. That way, you can see what it does. And so here's the form for that one. Um, Ella, I'm going to go ahead and give you the sign in, and that's a different link. So hopefully y'all don't mix them up. But if you do, if you accidentally open up the sign in sheet, go ahead and X that one out. And the one I just sent out for the paint by numbers ends with an 8. Here's the paint by numbers. So go ahead and try it. There's not too many. There's only about 7 questions, I think. But that way you can kind of get an idea what a paint by numbers using Google Forms looks like. When you've gone through it, go ahead and give me a little thumbs up, a smiley chat. Let me know you're finished. All right, so some of you getting those done. Um, yeah, that is neat. I came across those and I thought how fun to kind of make work just a little bit more engaging and fun for the students. Um, Unfortunately, the kids don't get to do their own coloring. You get to do the coloring on these. So you get to have a little bit more fun with it. But for the students, it just kind of appears and they're like, oh, yay, it's done for me. But it is kind of neat. So if you need that link again, let me know. I can send it one more time. If you're still not finished with it, I'll give you another minute or so. But here's the link one more time for the paint by numbers. If you want to go ahead and try it out, like I said, it shouldn't take you too long. And then I'll show you how to create these. All right, so as you can see, there was only about 6 or 7. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen. I see a few more people saying you're finished. I'm really glad you like that. So this is what it looked like on my end of things. And I can see there's no 22 responses in there. A couple of them were my own because I was trying it out myself. But this is what it looks like completed. And as you can see, it's all in different sections, and each section is done like that. So let's go ahead and I picked one that only went up to 5 different colors. So I'm going to try to do the same so that we don't have to be here all day long. You can pick a color by number that has a whole lot of different numbers, depending on your students, depending on how many questions you want to do. But let me think which one I did. So I used color by number coloring pages from Hello Kids. I did like this other one from this other place, but for some reason I could not get it to work. Um, I Let me show you. It was color it by numbers. The pictures were a lot prettier, but it would not let me register, wouldn't let me do anything. So if you can get it to work, the pictures on this one were really neat, but for some reason, I tried to color and all I got was this broken image up here. So I'm not sure what I was doing, but that one didn't work, but this one did. So I picked something simple. We're going to go to another something simple. How about this little puppy dog here? It looks like it only has a few. And you are going to have to know how to take some screenshots. So if you haven't learned how to do screenshots yet on your Chrome or on your device that you're using, um, do learn how to do that. This one does have ads, unfortunately, but it'll close in just a second. All right. So the first thing you want to do is take a screenshot of all your pictures. So I haven't even opened up Forms yet. I'm going to get all my screenshots of this cute, oops, and I accidentally got my mouse in that one. So I'm going to redo that. All right, so now kind of line it up, take a screenshot, and I'm going to save it as dog, and it's in there. And then I'm going to do the number 1. It says do it yellow, so I'm going to color all the ones yellow. And so I simply go through it just like this. And I could do a nicer, neater job if I was actually not too bad. Whoops, got the 4 in there. And so, once all my ones are colored in, I go ahead and take another screenshot. Oops, and got the bike in there, but that's okay. And screenshot that one. And then I save that picture. And I can save it as um, dog dog 1 or dog 2. And I keep repeating that process until I have all my pictures. So I'm going to go 2. It says to use brown. I don't see a brown. Maybe we'll use black. Much fun. So see, teachers get to have a little bit of fun coloring the picture. So that one's done. And I probably won't do every single one, but I'll do Maybe one more, just so you can see the process with a few pictures in there. So we'll save that one, dog 2, and save. And let's go to 3. Whoops. Is there undo? There we go. And I think that's the only 3. So let's try, um, well, let's go to 5. Do some green. Oops. I am not the best at coloring today. So I'm trying to hurry. All right, so that's good enough for now. So I'll take a screenshot of that. And we'll pretend that they're all finished. But, oops, save as, dog 3. And now I'll go to my forms. So I'll open up a blank sheet of forms. And I can change the background if I want to. I can title the form however, whatever subject or concept I'm working on. That's up to you. You can call it paint by numbers if you want to. And this first section here, I'm going to add here. I'm going to say color the ones. And I could put a description, but I'm just going to put that. And right here where where I can put a picture, I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to throw this one away. I'm going to come to add image, and I'm going to browse and look for my dog picture. There they are. So I want my blank one first. And it is up to you if you want to add the students' names in here, if you want them to sign in. Of course, if you do that, if you go to the settings and put where it collects their names, you don't have to do that. But all that extra part is up to you. And then you can say answer correctly or something like that to fill in the ones. You're going to answer the question correctly, or if you want to do fill in the blanks, things like that, answer the question. I picked math just because it's easiest. And then right under this, you're going to go ahead and add the question. And we'll do another math one. 7 minus 8. We'll just do 7 plus 8. I've got some negatives in there. Okay. And you do want it on short answer. And then on these 3 dots, you want to go to response validation. And right here, you can choose text, you can choose number, and then you want it to be equal to the answer here. So what is that, 15? And if they get it incorrect, I don't know if you tried to get it incorrectly on purpose, but if you want to give them a hint, this is where you can put something like watch the symbol, make sure you're adding, something like that. And they'll get that message if they get it incorrect. You do want it required, and you can also make it, let's go ahead and change this so it's a quiz. And we'll save that. You can collect email addresses. And then now you can also have it grade for you. So once it's a quiz, you can put in the correct answer, and then you can make it however many points you want it to be. And You can even have it mark all the other answers incorrect. You could add other correct answers, so space 15, um, 15 space, because sometimes kids add spaces afterwards, things like that. Or you could just go through it and then correct it afterwards. That works too. And put done. And that first one is done. Um, you can do the same thing and add a section, or you can come up here and duplicate your section. And so it's already in here, and you just have to change a few things right here. So now we just change it to color the twos, and we change this one to color the twos here. But we have to change our pictures. So then we go to these three dots here and change the picture and browse again. And we'll go here and get the next picture that has the ones filled in. And then you can change your question here and put the next question. So 1 plus, I don't know, 6. Make sure it's a short answer. You can change your answers here. So we'll change this to 7, space 7, space, and done. Make sure this one's correct. And then that one looks good. And then you can just do the same thing. Duplicate the section again and change what you need to change on this one to the threes. And so it's kind of just repetitive, but it's really simple once you kind of know what to do here. Change out your picture again. Look for the next picture in the sequence. Change your answer, your question again here. Um, really easy stuff because that's all I know how to do. So don't tell anyone, okay? All right, and done. And all right, so let's say we're all finished. You can add one more section if you want to um, for the end of it. And the last question. And it could be the last one is going to have your completed picture. You can always put something like I did and say, did you like it? Was it fun? Or you can just have nothing. You could just leave it blank. It's up to you. And once it's all done, you can always look at it to see what it looks like. And so that's what the first one will look like. You answer it. Like I said, if I put in the incorrect answer, it's going to tell me my message that I put. Make sure you are adding. Oh, maybe I didn't add. Whoops. So then if I put the correct answer, then I can go on to the next one. So that is how we do the paint by numbers using Google Forms. So like I said, it's a little bit fun for you because you get to do the coloring, but the kids really like it because they get to see the progress each time they got something correct. And it's really easy to do. We'll just go through this real quick and there, and then that's it. So I didn't put anything on the last one, but there's my submit button. If I'm finished with it, I'm done. I can look at my score if I want to. You can have that option so your kids can see what they got correctly and look at their progress. So any questions on the paint by number? Did I go too fast? You can tell me, 'cause sometimes I do. But that is how we create that one. You can put your questions in the comments, or there's not, there's kind of a lot of us, but if you want to unmute and just ask, you can go ahead and do that. If not, you're good. Then I will move on to the next one. Awesome. Okay. So the next one is a flip hunt, and a flip hunt is just um. Tina asked, "What was the program you went to find the pages?" It's called HelloKids.com, and I went to the coloring page section. So I can go to the main page here, and so you can see they have all those. The paint by numbers are this section, and I'll go ahead and share that link with you. There you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take those out, and we're going to look at what a flip hunt is. So another idea I came across was using Flipgrid to do flip hunts, and a flip hunt is um, kind of a way to get students up and exploring the world around them, or even if they're stuck at home. This was, I think, mostly meant for in the classroom, but since we're not in that environment, you can still do this while they're at home and have them, they can do like interviews with family members. You can have them find things at home. You can have them do things just with themselves because they're going to be on the screen using Flipgrid, things like that. Um, this one I got from here. It's called the Skeletal System Flip Hunt. And so I downloaded that one. You can see a little bit better here. And so they go through these checklists, um, but they have to do these with the videos that they create. And you can team them up with other students. And so, like that first team to complete all of them, you can give them points. You can make it, just for fun, things like that. So this first one says, wiggle your phalanges. So they have to get on the screen and on the Flipgrid video and wiggle their phalanges. And if they don't know what that is, maybe you can have them use it for vocabulary where they have to look up the words, things like that. So they do have to do some hunting in that sense through the web. You can also use it to do screen shares, things that they find on the web, and you can use it have them possibly like bring things to the screen. I wouldn't really recommend, have them take their Chromebooks outside or anything like that, um, unless they could do it safely where their Chromebook's not going to get damaged. But they could bring things to the screen that they find, they can share. So they're kind of hunting for things, doing things, and sharing with other students in the class. So that is a flip hunt. I can't really show you an example of that, but it's just because I don't have students of my own that I could show you some examples. But if you're unfamiliar with Flipgrid, if you want to set up an appointment with me, I could go over that with you, or you can look back at some of the sessions that I've done before on Flipgrid, or you can look up Flipgrid and look at some of the videos about it and get signed up and signed in to see how to use that tool. All right, so that was Flip Hunt. Um, any questions on a Flip Hunt? Okay, and all right, so this other one is something that I kind of created and came up with because I like geocaching and my boys like geocaching, but it doesn't always, right now, we can't always leave and go out. usually we can, but with students and being stuck in the classroom, I try to come up with a way for students to be able to do that and still have like the sense that they are geocaching. So geocaching is looking for items that are placed hidden in various places, but you take an item with you and you replace what you find. So you kind of swap out the items in the cache, and or you write in a log that you found it. Sometimes it's super super tiny and there's not room to switch out things, but you just write that you did find it. So this is kind of a way for them to keep track of what they find and swap out. So I'll show you that. So this is the description of what geocaching is that something you would probably want to explain to your students what geocaching is, because not everybody knows what it is. And um, this is My Maps. My Maps can be found in uh, Google Drive. And let's go there before we move on. Oops. Yeah, so here and go to more, and right here, Google My Maps. That is the only way I know to get to it. I don't think you can get to it any other way. All right, so we'll have this open, and then you can create yours first for your students. So if you want them to go to places um, that you want them to go to, not just exploring. And so we'll go ahead and use this one. You'll use, okay, this one open as well. But you'll create yours in here using the map. You'll title it. And let's just call this one Geocache. Oops, I spelled that wrong. There we go. And you can add a description if you want to. Um, and then you start choosing places all around. So you can go all around the world. You can go within town, things like that. So this one here is within our own town. So as you can see, um, there's only 3 places here, but you go to the Living Desert, the Baton Recreation Area, and the Carlsbad Library. And what the students would have to do is they have to go to these places and they have to prove that they looked up this place on the map. So they go to your map that you create, and let's go to this one. And so the student would have to do some screenshots, and let's move this over here. Add a picture. So you can have this as simple for the younger kids or as detailed for the older kids. Maybe you would want them to also write a description of this place that you want them to research. So you can add a picture by doing a search, and let's see. I don't know if Living Desert will come up, but we can try it. So there's a good picture of Living Desert State Park. We'll go ahead and add that. So they would have to add a picture and then save it, and then take a picture, like a screenshot, and then put that on their Google Slides. And the neat thing about this is you see these little icons is they can change the icons. So that's kind of like where they would do the swapping. And other students would be able to add pictures or swap out the icons as well, because they're all given the same map in a sense, you know. So if they look on the icons, they can change the icon. Well, it also maybe there's also fish at the Living Desert in the pond there is. So they can change that to a fish, and then they prove what they found, what they saw at first, and then what they changed it to. So that's their way of geocaching. It's virtual geocaching, but they can add something to it, or they can change something about the place that they went to. So they can change out the pictures here, they can change out the icons, and that's their way of showing that they went to that place. So just like this one, they can add a picture, they can take away a picture, and they can change the icon by going here. And of course, you would have to show them how to do all these different things on here and how to change things out, but it could be fun. For the much younger kids, I probably wouldn't use My Maps. I would probably use something like this, and it's where they would, if I go to present, this doing, as you can see, when my mouse hovers over certain items, so they would be able to, you found a set of books, and so it's hunting but not, and they would have to answer on there that way. So it's kind of like geocaching, not quite, but it would take them to, you can make a set of slides to where it takes them to something they found in the classroom, um, especially now since they're not in the classroom. So you could have a picture of your classroom, and if they clicked on something, maybe you could talk about what they found and what do you think that item is. So of course looks like it's for kinder or younger. But any questions on um, geocaching using Google Slides? Ooh, Miss Morgan, you have a question like museum? Yes. Did I put the museum on here? Oh, I didn't. I just had the library. Oops. But yes, the museum definitely would be an awesome place to put on there, especially if you have access to put some of the pictures from within the museum of some of the items that are in there. For sure, you could do it entirely on just that one particular place and some of the items in there, and maybe its origins. They could go traveling even further, like where did this item come from, and have them look for it, things like that. All right, so questions about any of these three? I was afraid I wasn't going to have enough time to get them all done in an hour, and I did. I talk fast, I guess.
Anita, I'm just wondering, would you be able to, since we've got some time, show us how to do a screenshot, or is that really specific to your device?
This one is different. If you're on a Chromebook, you can use Control Shift, and it's a window key. It looks like two lines with a rectangle on it. And that one should get you to where you can grab just a certain picture. It won't take the entire screen. You'll be able to like set it to where you want it to take the picture.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Brandy.
Anita, can you show us how to get a tennis shoe or a bicycle as our mouse?
Yeah, because those have something different, huh? So that is just an extension called Custom Cursor for Chrome. So if you go to the Chrome Web Store and look up Custom Cursor for Chrome, you can add that extension, and then you can change out your mouse to any of these. If you don't like any of those, you can go to More Cursors and pick whichever one that you do like. Like for my bike, I looked up bikes here and found a bike because I like biking. Deandra, thank you. Is that on a Chrome or for which device? For Chromebook? Okay. So Control and F4 also does a screenshot on a Chromebook. And I have not messed around with the newer Chromebooks. I know a lot of you got new Chromebooks. Woohoo! And it might be the same Control Shift window key, or it might be different. I don't know if that's for the newer ones or not for the Control F4. Mine, and then if you're on a desktop, you should have the snipping tool, and you should be able to find that when you go to the start. You can look up snipping tool, and it should bring it up on the new one. All right, thank you. So there's a couple ways you can get that those screenshots, especially for the color by numbers. If any of you look around, I looked around for color by number coloring pages, and I had a very hard time finding any that you can actually do online. I suppose if you have ones printed out and you really like coloring, you can always take a picture of it and do it that way and upload the pictures, especially if you like coloring, if you're good at staying in the lines too. But and then you just have to take a picture after each one and then upload all the pictures into there so that you have all of your sections in there. So but that's the only other thing, is I could not find very many that you could actually fill out or just drop in online where you get the colors like that. So if you find one and it's a good one, share that with me so that I can save that. All right. If there's not any other questions on any of these 3 ideas that you can use in your classroom, and if you have any other questions that come up later, you can always make an appointment with me or email me or call me, and I'll be happy to answer. And yes, I can post the sign in. There you go. I'll be in here for a few more minutes, but that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a great afternoon, and I won't see you next week because we're off. Woo! It's kind of exciting, even for me. So I bet all of you are all excited too. So I won't see you for a week, 2 weeks. So bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks, Anita. Have a good day.
Thanks.